Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. It is, I think it's like the 13th of January today, and it's the first time I have seen the garden. This is the first time seeing it since I've been back. I got back last night from Turkey. So I think today's going to be a bit of a sad video. I brought some secateurs and some scissors out. This is going to be a bit of a sad video because when I left England in like late November, I didn't have time, I didn't have the money or the time to protect anything. So I know a lot of things are going to be dead today, which is really sad because I put a lot of time and effort into this last year. So yeah, let's have a look what's dead, what's alive, what we can salvage. The fascia looks absolutely beautiful considering, well, I was in Istanbul and I've been in Istanbul for over the last 4 months. I've spent, I think, 3-4 weeks in England, so I really have been neglecting the garden. But I've got exciting things to come, which I'll let you know sort of later on in the year. But I was watching the weather forecast every day, and I think we got down to -6, which is unheard of in my area. I can't remember ever it getting down to -6, but so the fascia looks incredible for -6. Let's move this dead canner out of the way. And my sago palm's looking incredibly well. I thought that was going to be toast, to be fair. Now I've got to try and remember what's actually planted in the garden because I haven't been in the country since like I said, like mid to end of November, and we're now in January, so it's been a long time. My Musella Lacio Carpa, oh, it's actually still firm, so I've got high hopes for this. I had some canners here which are obviously like flopped over. They should be fine. So this was an experimental palm, and if we'd have had the winter we had last year, this would have been fine. But obviously we've had -6 and it isn't okay. This is my bungalow palm. It's completely toast. Like, there is no doubt about that. This is absolutely toast. Yeah, there's, oh no, that's not actually the bungalow palm. This is the bungalow palm. Oh, it's all mush. Oh, but no spare port at the moment. Yeah, but I mean, -6. They don't even like -1. So yeah, I can't see that coming back. Canners again. This was my Colocasia esculenta, which is actually still really firm. So I don't know whether to just leave that in situ and see what happens. Yeah, just see what happens with that one. That's Coleus, so that'll be ripped out today. I've got some new little things popping up at the back. I should know what these are because I had them last spring, so they're a bit early this year popping up. When I go inside, my mum knows what these are, so I'll ask her what they are, and I'll put it in the description. My banana is looking, I mean, as expected. It's not mushy, which is good. You can obviously see we've had some new growth in the last week or two, which is nice. What have I got down here? Pull this off here. So I've got my Camerops humilis cerifera, looking perfect. There's no damage on this at all. Didn't expect there to be any damage on this. My Washingtonia robusta is looking a lot better than I expected it to, considering this was a new plant that I planted this year. I expected this to be very borderline, whether this was going to be hardy. One of the good things is that this is like south facing, southwest facing, and it's really close to the house, so I knew that would give it a bit of protection. Some of the underleaves, and obviously I think these were more caught in the wind, so the lower leaves are a bit toasty, but I think that's really fine. And the thing that really has surprised me, and I thought this was going to be toast, is my queen palm. So this has had no protection, No protection at all. There's not really any damage on it. These were all damaged old leaves anyway. So since I've been away, it's pushed up this big new leaf. This is the biggest leaf that we've got. It's a little bit folded over. But yeah, I'm really surprised with that. Really, really surprised. Something I'm absolutely surprised about is my Lobelia cardinalis Queen Victoria have started to sprout again. I thought they'd be toast. So that's surprising. What else have I got in here? My Tetrapanax isn't quite as tasty as I thought. I thought that would have just been completely gone. I did have it was there. What did I have here? Come on, brain, think, get into action. I haven't done one of these videos in a long time, so I need to get my brain into gear. I had some crotons here. I've got 2 crotons in the house that my mum managed to salvage. I can't remember if she took this one or not. I did have some other little things here that I can't off the top of my head think of. This was coleus. My red banana. I think we all know that that's dead. The ones in the back that were a lot bigger are still quite firm. But I can't, to be fair, this is still firm, but I don't think it'll come back. I really don't. If that comes back, I'll be amazed. I will eat my own foot. But stranger things have happened. I'm just going to leave that there until the spring, and then when nothing happens, which it won't, I will just throw it in the bin. My other little sago palm here is pretty fine, so that's all good. These colocasias are definitely looking a lot more wilted, mushy, which isn't great. So I had daily happy days there. Had more coleus. Obviously, like lobelia just like disintegrates when it gets cold. So this banana's looking fine. Still got some new growth. A little bit of this is mushy. Don't know if you can see, like, well, that's just old leaves. What else did we have in here? My other bungalow palm, which is, oh, there we go. Spear pulled. That's the end of that. I'm not even going to bother. So that's quite sad. My other Washingtonia robusta is looking not as healthy. This one's a little bit more exposed when we get the winds coming this way, southwest winds, and it's not quite as close to the house as that one is. So yeah, this one's not looking as happy, to be expected. But my other Camarops is looking fine. No problems with this Camarops. We've got a little bit of a brown leaf there. These colocasias are looking a little bit on the yeah, really mushy. So I might just cut them back to the ground. Like I said, this is all going to be trial and error. I really don't hold out much hope for a lot of these things. Most of the palms will be fine, but I think I'll be starting fresh with a lot of things. But I'm just really surprised with that Fatsia. That is the healthiest looking plant out here. Everything looks pretty decimated, with the Fatsia and the sago palm just looking happy in situ. Let's have a look at these Washingtonia robustas in the pots. These aren't looking very happy either. I'm going to try and get these in the ground next year, because this year they just didn't do anything in these pots. They're just looking very sad, which is a real shame, because these were, the first year, my star plants, or star palms. I'm thinking whether to just build the ground up here and just sort of plant them here, dig a bit of a hole, make some sort of like rockery around them, and then just plant them there and let their roots grow down into the ground. Whether I do that or not, or give them away to somebody, I'm not sure. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause this video, clean this up a little bit because it's making me feel really sad. I've come back to England, not in the sunshine anymore. It's all grey, and the garden's looking dead sad. So I'm going to tidy this up and I will show you what this is looking like. I know that a lot of people are screaming down at the screen now, like, don't chop anything down, leave the bananas as they are. I should really leave the bananas to give them a bit more protection, but I'm not going to, because I'm stubborn and I want things to look a bit more presentable. And I want to be able to look at the garden, because I want to have a rethink. I think I want to go more minimal this year. I want to be not as jungly, still tropical, but I don't want that whole packed in look this year. I don't think. I want it more minimalistic, more modern looking tropical. So yeah, I'm going to tidy this up and I will cut back to what it looks like. So I hope you can hear me over the wind. I'm making slow progress. Everything's looking very bare now, but I'm getting more of a vision of what I want this year. I've decided, and this is what I think is a bit weird, I bought this bluegrass, and if you haven't seen my video when I planted everything, I will link it somewhere up in this video. But I bought this and it was blue. I've come back and it's green, which is a bit strange. But I've decided, because this year was just in the way, this rose bush didn't really do anything and I've got all this grass at the bottom. So I've decided I'm not doing it today because I've got my new white trainers on, stupidly. Doing the garden, shouldn't be doing the garden in new white trainers. But I'm going to dig this out because it's just doesn't do anything and it's just in the way, it looks really bare. And that Tetrapanax needs some more room to swing out. But yeah, so I've cut the bottom leaves off the Washingtonia, cleaned up the bananas. Bananas are looking a lot more clean. Pulled out the colocaceous, the coleus. I'm going to, I've got a serrated knife. I'm going to cut these back to probably an inch from the ground, and then I'm going to cover them over with something. I'm not sure quite what, whether it's going to be like a Pyrex dish or I'm going to cover them up with something just to try and save them as much as I can. And I found another clump of Lobelia cardinalis there that sprouted, which is nice. So yeah, hopefully in the next sort of month or two, everything will start looking a little bit more green and more flowers. I've got high hopes for these bananas this year because the ones at the back, they haven't got any green on them, and these ones are already pushing out new leaves, and it's what, the 13th of January, and these are in full sun all day. Obviously it's cloudy today, a little bit of sunshine popping through, but yeah, I'm hoping that these bananas spring into action very early this year. I'm clipping back my fuchsia, so yeah, I'm getting there, and I will show you the final product of what I've done. And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I've just cut this back and it's white inside. I've still got some green there. I really don't think this is going to survive, but for the fact it's still, I mean, it's still a week and -6. For the fact that that's still white inside gives me a little bit of hope. So I might cover that over with a bin or something. I'm sure I've got something I can put over that. Yeah, very, very surprised. I'm going to cull the leaves off and see what else I can find. Just cut more into it. I don't know if you can come on focus. So it's definitely still somewhat alive inside. So I'm taking off all the, come on focus phone. There we go. So I've taken all that off. I've got a bin somewhere I can put on top, I'm sure. Let's hope and pray that that survives. So I have just cut back my Colocasia esculenta. Still nice and white inside, it's still firm. And anyone that doesn't know, and I didn't know this, I cut this back and I smelled this really sweet smell. So I sniffed it and it actually smells like apples. It smells like really ripe red apples, which is really bizarre, but quite nice. So yeah, I've got high hopes for this because this is still like incredibly firm. So I'm going to cover that over, that's good. I just keep stopping and starting. When I see something that shocks me, I get my phone back out. But what I'm going to do in the next couple of days, weeks, once I've got some money, is I'm going to weed this and put more bark down, because a lot of the bark I put down last year has disintegrated. So I'm getting there. So I did say I was going to leave this for another day, but I've decided while I'm here, I'm going to rip that out. So the pile of debris is getting bigger and bigger, and everything's getting more and more bare. But I think it's needed, definitely needed. Fuchsia I've cut right back because that just sprung. That was literally mental. That grew so quickly in the summer. And this Washingtona robust had a couple of snapped fronds that were just dangling there, so I've just cut them off. I'm going to pull the bungalow palm out. Another casualty I found was my angel wings, which is under there somewhere. I went to see if that was squidgy and that just pulled out. So another one bites the dust. I think this is the most depressing video I've ever made. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is a silver lining. I have got a few things that survived. I just hope that next year's winter isn't going to be as bad. And I know I was saying next year's winter, we're still in January, we've still got February and March. But at least now I can get to things. I've made things a lot more accessible and easier to protect. The bananas, I'm not really too worried about the bananas because I know that if they just do turn to mush, they will sprout back from the bottom. And it's just now my palms that I've got to worry about. I think that's pretty much me done for the day. There's not a lot else I can do. I'm just going to quickly tidy up this corner, rake over what I can, and bag up all these dead plants, and then I'll finish the video. So I have decided that this is enough for me today. I think I've done a cracking job. It's not perfect by any means of the word, but it looks a lot tidier. It's given me room for thought of what I can do this year. Hopefully I'll be in the country a lot more this year, and I definitely won't be away for the winter next year. Well, this year I'm still quite not in 2023 yet. I will finish this corner off in the next couple of days. I haven't got the right footwear, trousers or anything to be knelt on the floor weeding. So yeah, I'll sort this out in another day or two. I'll pull up that bungalow palm and just generally tidy up that area. But everything else is done. I'm sorry this has been a bit of a sad video today, guys, but sometimes that's the reality of gardening, especially tropical gardening. Some years you get lucky and some years you get very unlucky. And this winter so far has been a bit of an unlucky one. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'm sorry about my lack of uploading, but now I'm back in the country I will try to upload more often. So it's a couple of days later and I'm glad I haven't actually posted this video yet, because I don't know if you can see, for the last couple of days we've had like 2 nights of frost, but we've had quite nice sunny days, and I've just kept a black plastic pot on top of this ensete, and as you can see it is not dead, it's still growing. I am so shocked. if this pulls through, this will be the most exciting thing, because I thought it was properly dead. I'm really stunned, absolutely shocked. So I'm going to leave this. I don't know whether to leave it off for a couple of hours just so it can dry out a little bit, because it's still a bit damp in there, or I don't know whether to just keep the box on to keep some of the heat in. I'm not too sure. The bananas have started to push up again since I've cut them back. If that'll focus just a little bit, not too much. So this is what it looks like in the daylight. You can see these are all really starting to shoot up now. The ground's settled a lot now. I'm starting to get a new leaf on my tetrapanax, if that will focus as well, which is exciting. You can see the lobelia more clearly there if I zoom in slightly. So these are my new lobelia that are sprouting. I did put plant pots over my colocasia that I cut to the ground, but the centres have sort of disintegrated on them, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. Like, do I or don't I? I mean, a lot of this water has evaporated in here. I might actually put this back on just to try and trap the heat in. So what I've done is I've worked it right into the bark, and I pushed the bark up right against the corners. It does have little holes at the top for ventilation, so it's not completely closed in. And hopefully by the time the temperature goes back up into sort of like the 10s and 12s next week, I'll be able to take this off. I haven't looked at these colocasias since I've covered them, but the centres are still there on these ones, so that's good. But yeah, this unsetty I'm really surprised about. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't post the video and I came out to check on it. So yeah, now I can add this in and I will post it. Sorry it's a little bit late. I'll give you a little glimpse of what things are looking like. And I will probably tomorrow post a video on the back garden. Everything looks a lot different out there. So I will say it again, thank you for watching guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.